Okay, Mr. Scardamai, we are ready when you are. We got everything worked out and ready to go.
Okay, then we will start on time. We got 2 minutes. Okay, it is 6 p.m. on May 5th, 2021, and we will now call to order our special meeting of the Bay City Independent School District Board of Trustees. Pursuant to Governor Abbott's temporary suspension of open meetings laws issued on March 16, 2020, and consistent with new state and local mandates on public health and social distancing, this meeting of the Bay City ISD Board of Trustees will be held via Zoom. The meeting will be audible to the public at the link provided at the top of the notice. A quorum of the Board of Trustees will not be present at one location. Therefore, in-person attendance will not be permitted. A quorum of the Board of Trustees will be present via Zoom. If you wish to have submitted comments for review by the Board of Trustees regarding any agenda item for the May 5th, 2021 meeting, those would be emailed to the Superintendent's Administrative Assistant, L. Estrada at baycityisd.org. Comments were to be submitted and received by 5 p.m. today. And Linda, I don't think we had any comments, did we? I didn't get anything via email.
No, we didn't have any.
Great. So we will take voice roll. And so I'm just going to go on my screen here. Trustee, and just say here if you're here and present. Trustee West.
Here.
Trustee Scardamai is here. Trustee Tenon.
Here.
Trustee Klepac.
Here.
Trustee Robinson.
Here.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I got you here. Trustee Dewitt.
Here.
And Trustee Nelson. I don't see his name on the screen anywhere, but I'm going to wait a second just in case. Okay, so we do have a quorum present with 6 members present. And we will move into the agenda. Item 2, canvass the votes of the school board trustee election held on May 1st, 2021. And so let me get my screen up. The votes were school board trustee position 6, Matthew Murray versus Edward Nelson. Early voting, Matthew Murray, 267 votes. Eddie Nelson, 170 votes. Matthew Murray got 61.1% of the early vote, and Eddie Nelson got 38.9% of the early vote. Election day, Matthew Murray, 157 votes. Eddie Nelson, 102 votes. Matthew Murray got 60.62% of the early vote, and Edward Nelson got 39.38% of the early vote. The totals, Matthew Murray had 424 votes, or 60.92% of the total vote. Eddie Nelson got 272 votes, or 39.08% of the total vote. School board trustee position 7, Kenesha Gaskin versus Jill Westmoreland. The early vote, Kenesha Gaskins got 115 votes, or 26.44%. Jill Westmoreland got 320 votes, or 73.56%. On election day, Kenesha Gaskins got 95 votes, or 36.82%. Jill Westmoreland got 163 votes, or 63.18% of the vote. The totals between early and election day were Kenesha Gaskins 210 votes, which was 30.30%, and Jill Westmoreland got 483 votes, or 69.7% of the vote. Those were the vote totals. Is there a motion to approve the canvass of the election results?
I'll make a motion.
Trustee Dewitt has made a motion that we accept the canvass of the voting day totals. Is there a second to his motion?
I'll second it.
Was that Trustee Tenon?
Yep.
Okay, Trustee Tenon seconds the motion. Is there any further discussion? Okay, then we will vote by voice roll again. Trustee West,
Yes.
Trustee Scardamai is yes. Trustee Tenon,
Yes.
Trustee Klepac,
Yes.
Trustee Robinson,
Yes.
Trustee DeWitt.
Yes.
Do we have Trustee Nelson yet? The motion passes 6-0. So we'd like to say congratulations to our new board members. We have Jill Robinson and Matt Murray, who will join us next meeting. And we will miss Coach Eddie Nelson and Trustee Klepac, who is stepping down. And so we certainly—
You said Jill Robinson.
Westmoreland.
What did I
You
say?
said Jill Robinson.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jill Westmoreland. Thank you for correcting me. And we
Anytime.
will welcome them, of course. So we'll see everybody at the next meeting, which will be in person, our regular board meeting on May 17th, which is not this coming up Monday, but the next Monday. Okay, agenda item 2 is discuss and take possible action on the Black Cat Blueprint. And so what we're talking about tonight is our graduation plan. And once it was released, there were several questions that came in to either myself or Dr. Scott. And so Dr. Scott asked for some direction from the board. And so here we are tonight. Some of the questions regarding limiting capacity of the stadium and how many seats could we have and various things. So with that being said, I will open the floor up for discussion for anything that anybody wants to talk about relating to our graduation ceremonies and the Black Cat Blueprint.
Yeah, James. I was thinking that we didn't need the 10 tickets per graduate. I think that the numbers will kind of work themselves out. Like, yeah, maybe one kid might bring 12 or 15, but then one kid might only bring 5 or 2. So limiting that like that makes it where I think there's maybe some grandparents or, step parents or whatever that end up getting left out on such a big event. And I think that our stadium can hold it. If we add a couple of hundred extra people to the 10-person per graduate number, then we're still under 50% of the stadium capacity. So.
Last year, kudos out to Bay City High School administrators and staff. It was so well organized, and I thought it was going to be total chaos, but it wasn't. From the parking to up in the stadium to seating, everything was perfect. I don't know what else is expected, what else you can do. I just know that it was so well organized. I kind of get what Mark is saying, but you have to understand that took a lot of planning on Ms. Reyes' part and that staff part to get that thing organized so well. And I think we have to take that staff and all that they're doing in consideration when we are talking about modifying anything. It was just awesome. I mean, from sitting in the car, when we parked, we couldn't get out the car. They had people there that came over to the car and gave the graduates all of the information. And then we sat there and we were escorted to our seating, and no complaints, no nothing. Everything ran so smoothly. And I just don't know what else we could do other than put more added work onto that staff. I know it took a lot of organizing on Miss Rhea's part, and to add more people. I get what you're saying, Mark. It may be maybe one student, but and maybe only bring one grandparent or one whatever. But we won't know that until we are there. I just think we should not reinvent that wheel and put extra work on that staff. It just ran so smoothly. I mean, it was excellent. I mean, it was excellent. I I was very, very impressed with what they had done. Very impressed. Very, very impressed with what they had done. And I just don't know what else we could do. And right now in the midst, we have 20 something days left before school is out. Changing a blueprint or changing anything, I think we just need to leave things as is and we just move on, because right now, I don't know if y'all know it or not. My mom is home. Yay, she's in the legacy. And we thought we were going to be able to see her, but we can't because the number in Matagorda County is steady rising. So last week it was 15 point something. This week is 16. So we can't see her because they're locked down over there. So I think we should just be patient and let things ride the way that they're going. But that's just my 2 cents on it. I just think things ran so smoothly last year. We need to leave it the way it is.
So I'll kind of, echo a piece of what Priscilla said. We do appreciate everything that Estella Reyes and her admin team do. I mean, organizing something that big a scale, I mean, it's a lot of work. I know it's a lot of work.
Yes.
And we appreciate all that. But as far as just saying, well, it is what it is, let's leave it till the end of the year because that's what it is. I know there's going to be families out there that would definitely disagree with that. And also, as far as the numbers go, with the amount of graduates we have compared to the capacity that our stadium holds, I mean, if we limit to 10 people per graduate, we're less than 40% capacity still from what the numbers showed. So I don't think it's going to add any more work as far as what they have planned or scheduled. I mean, we can still split the graduates in half, have half of them sit on, their families sit on one side, half of them sit on the other side. But I definitely don't think that we should limit the number of people that they can invite.
And I'll just add on to, I'll just take over from there. What Trustee Tennant's talking about is, I asked for the capacity of the old stadium because I wanted to know how many people we could fit in the stadium. Because we've never really packed that stadium on a graduation. There's always been rooms between families and, it was crowded, but it was smaller. And so that number was 4,700. And then the capacity of our new stadium is almost 1,400 people more. And so it's at 6,070 if you add the new and the old sides together. And so what Trustee Ten is talking about is if every single one of our 240 graduates showed up, which we know doesn't happen, there's always a couple or few or more that don't come. But if every single one of them come up, and we were blessed that every single one of them showed up, the stadium would be at 39% capacity in the stands. And so even if we were trying to stay under 50%, we still certainly could bring more people in. My problem with the 10 tickets per student is you're going to have a couple of kids who don't have anybody other than mom and dad, or maybe they have mom and dad and grandma and grandpa, or maybe they have mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, and an older brother, or whatever the family dynamics are. I mean, we get it. So if a kid doesn't show up, or they only have one or two people to see them and they had 10 tickets, there's no accountability that those extra 8 or 10 tickets are going to go to somebody else. We're just saying 10 per kid. And I think if we just remove the limits, this thing would take care of itself. We wouldn't have the capacity issues that I think we're trying to avoid when we tried to stay under 25%, because I think we would be over 25%. This isn't and I've said this before jokingly, but this isn't a football game where the whole community wants to come. Typically, this is a special event if you have a family member. I certainly wouldn't go to a graduation unless I knew a kid there, or I was involved in that graduation, or as a trustee. Obviously, it's a blessing and an honor to be a part of it. So I don't know that we're going to have the stands packed if we just open it up and say, come. And so now the kid who has 1 or 2 people can bring their family. And if somebody has a large family because they grew up here, they certainly can bring, their extended family. And I think it would take care of themselves. And to echo what both of you said, I mean, last year was tremendous. Estelle and her team did an amazing job. And I think that they would continue to do an amazing job. They did an amazing job before COVID. So I don't see why removing the 10 ticket limit would change the job that they did. I mean, it certainly would be awesome and amazing. As far as the safety of everybody, I know I read an article in the Sentinel today, and those numbers are old, but 22% of our county has been fully vaccinated. Almost 40% of our county has at least taken the first shot. So by the time graduation comes, the county will be over 40% vaccinated. And another number, 100% of anybody who wants the vaccine, it was made available to them. In fact, we had to send vaccines away. So I think at this point, ringing at the end of the year of a very successful year, getting back to a little bit of normalcy with our graduation ceremony would mean a lot to our children. And it would mean a lot to the parents of those children that elected us. So I'll leave my comments there and leave it open for discussion from anybody else.
I think it's important that we keep the safety protocols in place. And I'd like to know if that's possible with increasing the numbers as far as spacing goes, et cetera. We're not out of the woods with the coronavirus yet. We've done really well the last year plus. But again, I'm still concerned about this disease spreading. And sure, your graduates want to have everybody that they can get there as far as, their mothers, their fathers, grandparents, et cetera. But I still think it's important that we maintain a safe event.
Thank you, Trustee Klepac. Are there any further comments?
And I agree with you, Trustee Klepac. And you were talking about the families with just a few. The family that I went with last year, they didn't have any relatives here. But what they did was reached out to my family to make up the 10 tickets. And that worked out real well. So, and my family is huge. It's huge. So we have a graduate, but we've also made arrangements that it's only 10. So we've already decided how we are going to make up for that. So, I mean, it can be done. So I think safety of our kids, and like I said, I think we just need to let things stay the way that they are for right now.
I just want to say that I think this is what we've been waiting for since the pandemic started last year in March, was to have the vaccine available, was for people to start getting the vaccine, for numbers to start coming down a little bit, for people to be to have a little bit more freedom. And I think that's one thing that we have the ability here to do, is to start opening things up. And I think that's one thing that we should do. I mean, we don't need to keep on limiting it, and you know, I understand there's people who are fearful, and but you know, this is one occasion. This is one occasion, and that we can go ahead and celebrate our kids. And I think that we need to do whatever we can do to do that. And that's my 2 cents on that. And I just want to say, James, I concur with what you said. I applaud you for what you said. And I agree wholeheartedly with what you said. Thank you.
And to address
James,
go ahead,
James.
Nope, go ahead.
So with the current conversation, I still think that the numbers that we've talked about, the fact that the venue is outside, the fact that it is going to be live streamed to where if you really don't feel safe going, you can still see it live stream. But I think it mean a lot to these kids. They've missed so many things this year for them to have one real event. Their senior class trip got canceled today. So just having something to where they can say it was normal, I want to give that to them. So I want to make a motion to open it up and not have a limit per student.
Okay, so the agenda lists the Black Cat Blueprint. So if your motion could just reference the Black Cat Blueprint.
I guess make a addition to the Black Cat Blueprint to where because the Black Cat Blueprint doesn't specifically talk about graduation ceremony. So add another bullet in the Black Cat Blueprint saying that students can bring any amount of family and friends that they need, or I don't know how that's supposed to be worded because we don't mention it in there. So there's nothing to amend.
James, would it be that we make a motion to approve Black Cat 3.0? I think that's how it's listed in the agenda, correct?
Hang on, I got that over here.
You know, all the motion could say was that, according to the, you know, as far as the Black Cat Blueprint is concerned, make an addition that states that during our 2021 graduation ceremony, Bay City ISD will not determine spectator capacity.
There you go. That's excellent, Trent. I second that.
Trent, would you repeat your motion, please?
So I don't really know how to start it, just to, you know, to say that as far as the Black Cat Blueprint is concerned, I make a motion to add a statement saying that during the 2021 or during Bay City ISD graduation ceremonies, Bay City ISD will not determine spectator capacity.
Okay. I don't know if you need to add a bullet or if you can just say that the graduation ceremony will not follow the Black Cat Blueprint with regards to capacity. And so that's all we've talked about tonight is capacity. So Dr. Scott, I saw you unmuted. Did you want to say something?
Your point is valid. You don't have to put it in the blueprint. Trustee Tennant's motion is sufficient.
Okay. So we have a motion on the floor by Trustee Tennant to have the 2021 graduation ceremony without limiting capacity, which is—
Can I say something real quick?
Yep.
If we label it as 2021, do we have to come back and vote on that again next year?
Probably.
Can we just say graduation ceremony?
You can word it however you'd like.
Okay, I make a motion.
Environment. If we have a flare up, we'd probably be talking about it again. But
right. I mean, if we have to come back and visit it, that's one thing. But I don't want to have to if it's not necessary.
So go ahead and restate your motion, please, so I can get it correct.
I make a motion that during Bay City ISD's graduation ceremony, we will not determine spectator capacity.
Okay. So a motion has been made by Trustee Tennant that during Bay City ISD's graduation ceremonies, we will not limit capacity according to our Black Cat Blueprint. Is there a second to his motion?
I'll second.
The motion has been seconded by Trustee West. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. President, I don't have anything to add to the motion. I just want, before you all vote, just want to say thank you to Principal Reyes and the counselors and the staff over at the high school for putting these precautions in place. I do know that they want as many parents and community members to share in the celebration for our kids as we all do. They were just acting on what we have listed in the blueprint and just being precautious. So hats off to them for continuing to do the work that we've charged them with.
I agree. Thank y'all.
And before we vote, I'll make the comment that they do a fantastic job, no matter how many are going to show up. And so, you know, I expect that there still will be safety and there still will be precautions, and that our parents still will be well taken care of by our team. I'm sure there'll be teams guiding people and trying to maintain social distancing, and maybe there's hand sanitizer and temperature checks. I don't know what you have in plan for safety, but yeah, you guys, I mean, incredible job. So any further discussion? Hearing none, I will call for a voice vote. Trustee West.
Yes.
Trustee Scardama, yes. Trustee Tenon.
Yes.
Trustee Klepac.
No.
Trustee Robinson.
No.
Trustee Dewitt.
Yes.
Is Trustee Nelson present? The motion passes 4-2. What a way to celebrate one of the hardest years ever than to have a graduation ceremony. And so I think it's going to be really exciting. I hope the community gets excited. I certainly know I've heard a lot of good things about having a graduation ceremony. So the next item is adjournment. Are there, Dr. Scott, you want to make any final comments before we adjourn tonight? I know it's a short meeting, so we got a meeting again in 11 days, I think, 12 days.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. Well, one, I just want to say thank you to the staff for their hard work this school year. We're getting down to the end to where we can actually start celebrating some of the success that we've actually had this school year. It's been a tough one, but we have many highlights that we can actually, once again, celebrate. I met with the principals the other day, and it's remarkable about how much they've actually said, and this is a whole nother topic, but how much they've said that they've seen instruction and the level of instruction improve, and it really become student-centered without the overcast of standardized testing at this point. So teachers were really allowed to do the things that they've been that they went to school to do, and that they do well without all of the pressures of STAR at some levels, because we still have some at the high school. But again, hats off to them. Want to celebrate and encourage Bryce on his trip to state tomorrow to run in the 100-yard dash and a 200-yard dash. If you have an opportunity, please watch that. It's going to be live streamed. Super proud of the work that they're actually doing over in the athletic department. I see Coach Trahan is here, and hats off to Coach Trahan and his team. Want to thank the board again for its leadership and its support in keeping our district safe and moving us forward academically. With that being said, Mr. President, that concludes my comments.
Thank you, Dr. Scott. Item 4, adjournment.
Hey, real quick, congratulations to the boys baseball making playoffs too.
Yeah, congratulations to the boys and the baseball team. They have a play in, and if they don't get that one, they have to double back and play.
Yeah,
that's a lot of baseball in less than 24 hours, possibly. But they're young.
It is, but that black cat fight never dies. We got it.
They're young enough, I guess, to possibly play 3 games in the 24-hour period. I don't think the trustees on here or the superintendent, who may have played back in the day, could do that right now. But again, hats off to our boys.
Yep. All right, James, I'd make a motion to adjourn.
All right, motion has been made by trustee West to adjourn. Is there a second to his motion?
I'll
Second.
make a motion.
Oh.
Second, motion's been seconded by trustee Dewitt. We'll take a voice vote, and now everybody's out of order. I'll go first. Trustee Scardamai, yes. Trustee Tenon,
Yes.
trustee West,
Yes.
trustee Klepac,
Yes.
trustee Robinson,
Yes.
and trustee Dewitt.
Yes.
Motion is passed 6-0. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy this beautiful weather and all the success that our academics and our athletics have had. So have a good evening, everyone.